What's love without loyalty? Could I trust you while I chase this money? I just need my mind at peace. I need some sleep. No, I be in these streets.
Y'all have been out here in public lake. I've been here a little minute. Might be getting some attention. There's a lot of trucks here. Alright, man. Let's get in the video. Just want to give y'all a little tour where I'm at. And where I'm at on this video before I started. Let's go. Yo, what's up, everybody? We back, man, with another video. Update y'all on my week. I'm gonna try to touch on more of net pay on this video. I'm down here in Lakeland, Florida right now. Of course, you know I like to wrap my week up down here in the Florida area. So anytime I'm in Lakeland, Orlando, Ocala, 9 times out of 10 I'm going home. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, delivering at Publix. I'm at Publix right now. Usually I be at Sam's Club, taking something to Sam's Club, but I'm at Publix. And I brought this load from Richmond Hill, Georgia yesterday. It paid like $1,000. I think I won the bid for like $1,010. Like $3 and something a mile. Y'all already know I'm a goddamn, I like to bring facts to you, so let me get in their phone. It was $1,010, $3.38 a mile. It wasn't far either, you know. It was $299 miles. Yeah, just something to end the week with, and I'll be heading home today after this load right here. So yeah, man, just waiting on them to finish to send me a lumper. I want to say this is probably the first lumper that I got since I've been at Cloud. No, I think I had another lumper. I had to pay it with my card, and they reimbursed me. Yeah, that's how that went. I remember now. Trying to see, I don't know if my camera look clear, y'all, to it look a little blurry to me. So see if that helped it out. But yeah, I had one before, and I paid it with credit card, debit card, and the broker just reimbursed me pretty much on that. But yeah, my net this week, I'm actually waiting on to get unloaded, but I'm like, you know, I got some time. Let me go ahead and just make the video, and if I have to make some corrections, I just pop it up on the screen, you know, because how it work over here on the app for me to be able to give y'all the display screen, the load got to be closed, and this is my last load for this week that I'm doing before I go home today. It ain't closed out yet, so it's not gonna have the numbers up until it close out. So I'm gonna just try to ballpark it on this load right here. But like I said, I'm trying to focus on the net, you know, because I see a lot of people want to know the net, and that's understandable. You know, it's you know the gross. You can go gross all type of money. You know, people don't know what you're bringing home. It really don't, you really ain't got proof for, nothing too much silent to go by if it ain't net. But my net should be around about 4,000 this week, maybe a little over, or maybe a little under. It's I don't know how much they gonna take out of the I know how much I'm gonna be left with out of this load right here. I think like $800 and some after they get they 18%, you might as well say. but I don't know how much of the fuel they're gonna take, because with me making these videos and talking about they fees, my last few videos I spoke on the fees kind of significant over here, how they take, you know, the fees. And I'm guessing someone at CloudTrucks tapped into my videos and they saw them, you know. So I think they tried to make an adjustment on what they can do to try to help me, because I got an email yesterday saying, you know, it'll be like, I put it on the screen, it'll be, they took the percentage. I think they got a percentage range, how much of the deductions they're gonna take from your loads, you know. Instead of just taking everything at one time, I think they're trying to help me by taking, like, instead of 50%, they're gonna be taking like 15 or 20 at a time. So they slowing them down, you know. They slowing it down, and I can see that being convenient. But when I was speaking on the fees being significant, it wasn't that. I got to pay the fuel anyway. You got to get the fuel anyway. I wasn't saying find a way to slow the money down from coming out, which I appreciate it. Anything better than nothing, but I appreciate it. But I was speaking more on the deductions, like the 18%, you know what I mean? Let us take the 5% insurance. I feel like if y'all see the truck rocking or my video rocking, it's because I'm getting unloaded, you know. Hopefully it don't rock too bad where I have to cancel the video and reshoot other parts. But hopefully I can shoot this all the way through, because I don't really like breaking up my video when I get going, everything coming off. I'm hitting everything I want to talk about. But yeah, just in case, just wanted to warn y'all. But I'm more on like the 5%, like, let's reduce that, you know what I mean? If you want to help me in the company, and people at the company, other drivers that probably going through the same thing I'm going through, if they got a significant high truck note, everything works out. Everything good with the company. We love the company, you know. We think they're one of the best in the business, or at least the top 5 or the top 10, however, you know, whoever making that list. But definitely in my top 5. But I just feel like it'll help out a lot to be able to insure me. If you can't do the whole fleet, at least insure me through the 5%, my physical damage. Like, insure me under the company. Because you know, with CloudTrucks separating the insurance, it's causing me to have to pay 2. I'm paying physical damage in cargo, but I could be, if they add my physical damage under the cargo, which inside the 5%, I wouldn't have cargo as well. You know, that'll save me probably $500 a month. Cause like I say, my physical damage $487 a month. So, you know, I had a talk with someone at CloudTrucks, and they told me that they couldn't do away with the 5%. That's everybody enrolled in that when you sign the contract, and I understand that. But you probably can't afford to do the whole company. But you know, at least do me, and I feel like you know, that's fair, because I do, you know, I promote the company a lot. You know, I speak highly of the company a lot. You know, I promote for the company. I do ads for the company, and been asked to do another ad, you know. So that's why I'm speaking more on things that could help more of us drivers, you know, more of us contract drivers over here, financially, you know, something that I feel like would be fair on both sides. I don't think it'll put the company out of business to do these things that I'm asking. I'm see if I say make the 5 cent go away completely, you know, that would be significant. But all I'm saying is, insure the physical damage out the 5%, so we won't have 2 insurances. I feel like that'd be a great start, you know. Everything else pretty solid, you know. Everything else fair, I feel. But if we can get something on that, like what they done just slowed the deductions down. That don't mean they went away. Still got to pay them. And if somebody who don't manage their money well, it might make it more of a burden, because now you don't went the whole week using money that you didn't have to spend on other places. Now they didn't take everything. They didn't take 50% at one time, but they slowed it down, so they took 15 to 20%, you know. So they didn't take more money out of your net, you know, out of your take home. So they only doing that on the fuel. From the looks of it, the fuel, they still got their whole 18%. So they, from the looks of it, it's only that you only getting that break on the fuel, but you still responsible to pay all of that, you know, at the end of the week. So even if they save you $300 out through the week, now come Monday, Tuesday, when all these fees due, these fuel fees due, that they statement for their week closes, now you do $300 that, you know, you still do that. Now you got to pay all that at one time. So I wasn't saying that wasn't, you know, that can be, I can see that creeping up on drivers being a problem, you know. But yeah, that's what I was talking about the insurance deal. But like I say, my net this week, y'all, should be around 4,000, a little under 4. I'm gonna post the video. I put the screenshot on the screen showing I better close this load out, so you know you'll see those numbers. I grossed it around 6,500 from the 1st to the 7th. That's how they pay week go, from the 1st to the 7th, 7 days. So that's what you're gonna see, the gross of from June 1st to June 7th with the day. So it'll close out tonight. So everything from June 1st to June 7th, that's gonna be on my gross week. You should see around about 6,500 gross, 6,540 somewhere now. Last week I wasn't really focused on cent per mile. I was most focused on staying busy, staying moving. You know, I'm always trying different stuff to see, you know, do this make a difference in my income if I move like this? So I'm always doing certain things that I normally probably wouldn't do. Like I took loads last week, you know. I went to Miami twice on this pay period, and I took loads. Man, I took loads that was paying $1.11 a mile out of Miami, out west, you know, out to Oklahoma. And you know, I don't usually do stuff that low. I think it was like $1.11. Let me pull it up. I want to say it was $1.11, y'all. I took it from Miami on the it delivered on June 2nd to Duncan, Oklahoma. It paid me $15.90. That was $1.11 a mile for 1,427 miles. That pretty much was something for me to do over the weekend. Just to get something. I left out of Miami that Friday, so just to get something and to keep rolling Saturday and Sunday, so I have something to keep me rolling. I just grabbed that because I felt like I could have tried to come up to South Georgia area to try to find something that probably paid me around that same thing, or I probably would have got less. So yeah, I had to come out of Miami. I could have probably got something from up there where I wouldn't have had to drive additional 400 miles with a load, but the load on the way like 15,000 pounds. So, you know, I felt like I ain't gonna burn too much fuel with 15,000, so I'm just gonna grab something down here. And so I gotta go back up anyway. I gotta get out of Florida anyway, so I grabbed that. That was about 1,600. So that gave me that pretty much to do over the weekend. So I covered that over the weekend. And so that just kept me rolling, you know what I mean? That was just to keep me rolling, because I stayed home. I ain't leave out till like Wednesday of last week. So I had a few loads that got in on last week payroll. So pretty much this payroll started on the 1st, so everything got delivered on the 1st. That's what you'll see. So I grabbed this to keep me moving, because like I said, I ain't come out to like Wednesday of that week, so I ain't have a like 2 load drop before I got this one. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna run this weekend, since I ain't really do much last week with the holiday, what it was, Memorial holiday. So it was a slow start. I had business to handle that Tuesday, so I ain't really get out to Wednesday. So I was like, I'm gonna stay out this weekend. So I stayed out last weekend, and I'm going this weekend, pretty much today. So I want to keep moving. So I ain't want to gamble. I ain't want to gamble and come back up to Georgia and be, you know, like, it was Friday. So I wasn't gonna get back up there around like Friday night anyway. So it wasn't gonna be nothing I could pick up. Then trying to get something Saturday, you really playing Russian roulette. So I was like, I'm gonna just take this out. That was another reason why I took the load out of Miami for the $1.11 a mile. So I knew to keep me busy for the weekend, and I drop it Monday for the $15.90. So that was my thought on that. But I don't usually take stuff under $2, but I rolled with that one. You know, it served its purpose. It served its purpose. And then I came back from Miami. I went to Oklahoma. I went by about 2 hours deadhead over in Oklahoma to Bessie, Oklahoma, and it went to Miami. This load right here, it showed me it was 1,536 miles, but all in all, it was more than that. When I put it in the GPS, it was about 1,700. So I'm like, damn, that was a lot. It was a lot. But it only showed it was around like 1,536. You'll see it on the screenshot. So yeah, I that load paid me $3,300, $2.15 a mile, and it came. So I went to Oklahoma and back from Oklahoma straight to Miami for $33. You see how I went out there for $15.90, and I came back with $3,300. That's crazy. Trucking could be so much better if we can just get paid the same either way we go, no matter where we come from. Cause you still gotta drive. That was really what it's all about, the drive, you know, not the weight of the load or where it's picking up. It's a load, it gotta go. It should all pay the same, you know. It should all pay the same or be a minimum. Minimum is at least $2. Everything should be, that should be the base. You know, I don't know who making these rules, man, but $2 should be the base. That should be negotiation. Nothing should be under there. Everything $2 and up. You know what I mean? I wish we can get that to Mr. Donald Trump, man, and you know, see what Donald think about that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's enough. I feel like it's enough freight moving. I feel like that should be the base, $2, you know? Cause we gotta pay for fuel. You shouldn't have to take no hit like that, man. You know, like, you shouldn't have to take no hit like that. You still gotta drive, man. If we get to save an extra $40 on fuel just because the load was light, oh well, ain't nobody getting rich out there. You know what I mean? Come on, calm down. But so yeah, I got back to Miami. I actually picked that load up a day later because I got held up on my load that I took out there. That I took to Duncan, Oklahoma. I got held up, man. They kept me about an hour longer than they should have, and that made me late for my pickup on my load coming back to Miami. So instead of me picking that up Monday, cause it was supposed to pick up Monday too, but it didn't. I ain't get there till Tuesday on the 3rd. So being about 1,700 miles, that took me, I got Thursday morning. Yeah, Thursday morning when I made it back across. That was crazy. I had to do some riding. I had to do some things. I had to get creative. Nigga. Yeah, we gonna leave that there though. But yeah, I got down there Thursday about 8, 9 in the morning. Delivered that. They took it out super quick. I had another load paying me $500 that I was gonna run from Miami over to Fort Myers, I want to say. But I wound up having to come off that load because I supposed to actually pick it up Wednesday. Because I supposed to been out there Wednesday. But didn't make it to Thursday because I picked that load up later like I was telling y'all. So I had to come off that load because I wasn't going to make that. No way I wasn't going to make that with all them miles. So I came off it. And I had another load. I was already booked up pretty much for the week, man. I was booked up shit that whole week. I ain't have to book none of these loads because I booked all these loads like that Wednesday when I came out. So that load was paying $500. I came off it. I had another one picking up in Tampa that was paying me $600. It paid me $600 to go from Tampa, Florida to Augusta, Georgia. So that was $1.44 a mile. That was another low paying load. But you know when you in Florida, you gonna take a hit coming out. Now if I could have got the $500 going from I see it right now. If I could have got the $500 coming from Miami, it was going to Tampa. It wasn't going to Fort Myers. And it was paying me $500, $1.70 and $1.79 a mile. That wasn't bad. Lows usually pay more if you stay within Florida, like Florida to Florida. So that one was gonna pay $5. If I could have got that one along with the Augusta, that would have been $1,100 getting out of Florida, like total of being in Florida, getting out of Florida. So yeah, I missed that one. So I just said, you know what, fuck it. I did headed over to Tampa and got the Augusta load because I lost too much time that Thursday. I couldn't do nothing else. So I went and got that load, ran it to Augusta for $600. Delivered it Friday morning. Once again, had to get creative, had to do some things with that load. I ran a lot of night. I did a lot of night driving, like overnight this week, because when that load got pushed back, it fucked my whole week up. So it pushed everything forward. But I delivered that Friday morning by 8 o'clock. Supposed to been there at like 6:30. Got there at 8:30. Got that off. They took it off pretty fast, no issues. And that's when I did headed over to Richmond, Georgia. And I'm on the load I got from Richmond, Georgia. It picked up at 1 p.m. Friday. Richmond Hill, Georgia. And they paid $1,010, $3.38 a mile, coming down to Lakeland, which I'm here in Lakeland now, Saturday, 10 a.m. It's crazy, man. You know, like how I look at it, and it's a total of, like I said, like 6,500, maybe a low 6,500 total gross. Net should be around 4,000 to 38 somewhere now. Y'all see a screenshot. But yeah, it's getting hot in that bed, man. Y'all know Florida hot anyway, but yeah, it getting hot in that bed. I gotta crank the truck back up when I finish the video. But yeah, this load I'm on now, I'm finishing, it paid $3.38 a mile. But you seen, I called out 2 loads that was paying under $1, well under $1, like well under $2, I mean. One was $1.11 a mile, and the other one was $1.44. Now, if you take some of this $3.38 from this load I'm on now that paid $1,000.10, that kind of padding them others, you know, that help padding them a little bit, so it don't seem like so dramatic. You can take that and be like, okay, well, you know, that paid well over the base that I like to be around $2, $1.38 over. So you can take that and throw them on them other 2, and help pad them a little bit where it don't look that bad. So I'm 6,500 in like, 7 days. It ain't bad. It ain't bad. You know what I mean? So I'm saying this to say, people see these low paying lows, and a lot of folks probably would have never ran them lows. They just would have complained and not made nothing. They would have stayed in Miami or dead headed to Georgia and lost a day. Come up Friday night. Now you can't get nothing Saturday. Now it's Saturday and everything that's moving probably paying you 50 cents. I'm not being dramatic. They have lows on this board like on days like the weekends and just like dead days when like holidays when ain't nothing moving, or just late night. They have shit on the board that pay 30 cents. I done seen stuff low at 25 cents. Yeah, loads paying $300 to go to California. You know what I mean? Like, just before, like, that's why I took what I took, because at the end of the day, $1,590 down to $1,600, that ain't no okay, something you want to just sleep on, when you got a truck note. So I took that, it was worth it. When I added up the way I added up, like pay for fuel, I still walk away with some money. I'm gonna walk away with a fat pocket, but I'm gonna walk away with some money off that, even though I had to drive a significant amount of miles on it. But I knew that back haul would have made up for that, so I wasn't tripping. But yeah, that's how I look at it. I ain't gonna just sit somewhere and complain about, oh, they don't want to pay no money. You ain't making no money now. You gotta grab something and move. Do I do this all the time? No. It's probably my first video I done gave y'all where I rant stuff like that, but like I said, sometimes you gotta move. And I knew I went to Miami with a pride load for like 15 to like 1950, the load that I dropped. So I had a reason why I was even in Miami. I didn't do a video last week on that one because, like I said, I've been working. I went out Wednesday, so them 2 loads I did before this one, they closed out on last week's payroll. I didn't drop a video last week, but that was a smaller week. I probably grossed like 3,400. It was a short week. I came out, time go in Saturday, and I came out Wednesday, so I ain't do but 2 loads for like 34. That still wasn't bad. I probably still should have dropped the video, but like I said, I was busy running since then. I'm recording this Saturday. I've been, and I'm gonna drop it Sunday, so y'all be seeing this Sunday. When you see it, I have to do what I gotta do to get stuff in, because for one, I gotta work, I gotta run, I gotta make my money, I gotta get my rest. I got things I like to do. I like to day trade, so watching the charts and just being in the news and trying to stay up with the stocks and what's going on in the market and what Trump talking about, and that shit take a lot of time too, but I don't like to sleep on nothing I started. I've been doing stocks. I've been fucking with stocks for like since 2020. This shit ain't easy. You can lose money just quicker you can make money. So I fuck with that. And I do the parlays for enjoyment, just it get me through the day, knowing okay, the game come on tonight at 8, and I can watch the game. I got me a few dollars on that. So I watched. I've been watching the playoffs finals now. Indiana. I like Indiana, but I think OKC gonna get them. But I'm surprised they won the first game. I wasn't really pulling on them to win that first game, like. Or else I just would have put $200 on them to win 800, because they was the underdog team. Nobody ain't see that. The overs was, they had them so much money because nobody thought they was gonna win it. I could have won at $800 or 200 on Hard Rock. But yeah, man, that's what I like. That's what I like to do. It just, I have other things that I do. So, but I make time for my YouTube as well, because. How I look at it, man, I'm bringing information to y'all, man. I got a lot of information. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm not going for anything. I'm not falling for anything. So, with the information I got, the knowledge I got in this, and my experiences, it definitely can help. If I know for a fact, it's somebody out there that got lesser information, and the stuff I know and bring to these videos, I know that they can utilize it. So I don't care about the negative people that, you know, just want to come on here and leave a bad comment. You know, I don't even care for them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know the word to use to describe how much I don't give up about them people. Because I know how many people I impact by, you know, putting this information on here, and the people that reach my description and get my email and email me and get my phone number and call me. You know what I mean? Some of y'all that I done talked to, you probably can tell. You probably like, damn, this dude, he sound like he don't even want to get off the phone. Now, I'm passionate about what I do. You know, I got love for everything I do. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't. So yeah, man, you know, this truck can help me take care of my family, my kids that I love with everything in me. So yeah, you know, you get on the phone with me and we start talking, you gon', yeah, I'm you know, you say a few things and, you know, I'm gonna go to, my knowledge is boom, it go to clicking soon. I've been doing it so long, like, so if I know something, I'm gonna speak on it, especially stuff that I'm passionate about. I'm very passionate about this stuff that I do, you know, so I go the extra mile in it. So yeah, you know, we get on that phone, man, we're gonna chop it up, and you know, and I'm gonna say some things, and I learn stuff from y'all too. This ain't all just me. Like, I don't learn, you know, everybody just learn from me. Nah, you know, I'm a great listener. I love to listen before I talk. You know, I'm more of a listener than a talker. If you really knew me, you know, you know that. And I don't be getting on here just to lie, man. Get on here to spread lies. Cause people, I'm at this company. I'm here. I'm at Cloud. Like, people coming over here, people looking to come on and be on my videos and soaking up this information. I'm over here. Like I say, the only way I would leave Cloud is to go work with family. You know what I mean? I don't got no intentions to lead them and go to somebody like JB Hunt, which I think JB Hunt may not be a bad company. I got a friend of mine that just called me last week, said he about to go over there. He done did his paperwork, drug screen. None of these companies I call out, I'm not just saying their names to be bashing them, you know, saying I'm not going here because of this, I'm not going here because of that. Nah, I just feel like when you weigh it out, they all about the same. You know, JB Hunt might got lesser fees, but they take more of the line haul, so it all gonna balance itself out. You know, CloudTruck they give you more of the line haul, but then they got a little bit more fees. So it's always, if you just look at these companies, you can just see that they want what they want. They just gonna find another way to make it look more appealing to the drivers. You know, like, you're gonna be like, whatever you value. If you value lesser fees, you gonna go with the company got lesser fees, but then they line haul not gonna pay you that much, so they gonna still get what they really want. Or if you somebody who value, I want more of my line haul, they gonna give you that, but then they gonna come back and charge you for the trailer. We want $400 a week for our trailer. Yeah, I escrow $250. Like, yeah, they gonna find a way to get it back from you. So it's just really based off what you value, you know. That's where you gonna end up at, cause that's what's gonna get you, you know. This shit like checkers, you know what I mean? This shit ain't like checker, this shit chess, you know what I mean? They got how they do things. If you really sit back and pay attention, that's how it is. That's how they plan it. They know exactly what's going on. You know, you gotta look at it. They see the numbers. You know, they know how many people coming, you know, and how many people ain't coming, and how many people staying, and how many people leaving. So they on the back end, so they get to see what's going on, you know what I mean? So they know how to get us in there. They know what we looking at, you know what I mean? So they know exactly what to do. That's why I say, and they gonna attract what they want to attract. And they gonna get that. They gonna get you in there. That's why I say I hold it down over here at Cloud, because I feel like I got a good thing going over here, you know. And then with me, I like promoting the company. You know, I'm here and I'm happy here. I'm being able to pay my bills here. You know, I know the system here, you know. I like how everything's set up here. You know, I like using Mudflap. You know, I save a lot on fuel through my Mudflap. And then Cloud got a fuel card where you can attach it to the Mudflap. So it just, that works perfect. It's very convenient. So I don't have to spend money out of my line haul, out of my take home money to get my next load delivered. So that front me everything until I deliver the load. So that's, you know, stuff like the little things like that, you know, it make the company so much better. Not having a dispatcher, being able to book my own loads. Cloud don't tap in and bother me at all. You know, it's like having my own authority without my own authority. Like, that's, all that stuff is convenient. And even if one of those change, it can affect the company. So, that, I said that to say, you know, that's how convenient those little things is. When they add these little things to their company, they do these little things. Them little things add up to make a driver, you know, one of your business partner more and more happier, you know. That's why I say this little thing about the insurance that I was talking about earlier in the video. That's another quick little small fix that could take somebody from giving the company an 8 to a 10 plus on a light rating. So yeah, Cloud, y'all keep doing that. Y'all, you know, those little things, they add up, man. They not overlooked. That's why I say anything better than nothing. We'll take it. We'll take it. But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. Y'all know I don't be trying to make these videos an hour, but when I get to going, it's just so much stuff. Like I said, you know, I made videos to remember some of this stuff while I started this video. I made videos out through the week, certain things I want to speak on. So some know for coming in my thoughts while I was making this video. So I was able to drop some of that on y'all. So I ain't just forget it and didn't have no note of it to be able to drop it in the video. But if y'all have any questions, y'all know the routine. Hit my email. My email will be in the description. As always, like, comment, subscribe if you're not, and you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. You might just hit the button. It ain't costing you nothing to hit the button. Yeah, hit the button, man. I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Gave y'all all the numbers. Yeah, y'all engaged. Thank y'all for engaging. Even if you ain't got nothing to say, man, just drop a 100 emoji, any emoji, or just anything. You know, it helped me when y'all comment, though. You know, it helped the video get on the algorithm and reach more people. So just put something in the comment. I don't care if you put in there that, hey, I'm the prettiest nigga living, whatever. Just don't put nigga in there though. But hey, but just, yeah, put an emoji in there, man, if you ain't got nothing to say. You out here, man.
What's love without loyalty? Could I trust you while I chase this money? I just need my mind at peace. I need some sleep. No, I be in these streets.